Y'all with me? And it was good for us, to tell you the truth, because when I stepped back in the head biggest James and I haven't been there, it brought back so much memories.
Y'all don't even know Calvin for CCO. I know Calvin, you know what I mean? I don't know.
The wheels are in motion toward the majority draw between Gervonta Tank Davis and Lamont Roach Jr. potentially being overturned. And this has led to an unforeseen split between him and Coach Calvin Ford, especially with the events that happened in his corner during the fight. His display against Lamont Roach was absolute chaos, with the result being the perfect reflection of Tank's performance. However, regarding Calvin Ford's departure, the World Boxing Association lightweight champion has now reacted.
When we first started off, and him saying all this working together, he was happy. And at the end of the day, what it's about, the fight.
Interestingly, Coach Calvin Ford's reaction followed the recent announcement from Lamont Roach's team and the New York State Athletic Commission regarding an overturn of the results of the match. Dan Raphael of Fight Freaks Unite reported on Tuesday that Roach Jr.'s lawyer, Greg Smith, sent a letter to New York State Athletic Commission Executive Director Matt Delaglio. In the 4-page letter, Raphael also reported that Smith is calling for the New York State Athletic Commission to overturn the majority draw into a decision win for Roach Jr. On Monday, the New York State Athletic Commission released a statement on the matter, saying it was reviewing the controversial call by referee Steve Willis in the 9th round, and that technical difficulties led to them not being able to review the call.
Dad, slow down, I'm worrying about you, because, boom, he knows that I spend time with my amateurs. You know me. Both of y'all know me very well. Yeah. Don't I spend time with my amateurs? Yeah, all the time. That's my piece. And he know when I go spend time.
Davis took a knee after Roach Jr. landed a punch before going to have his face wiped off by one of his cornermen. Willis started a count as if he was going to score Davis taking a knee as a knockdown, but then allowed the fight to continue. At this time, the New York State Athletic Commission is reviewing the matter involving Saturday's matchup between Lamont Roach and Gervonta Davis. The New York State Athletic Commission responded. During the round in question following the commission's request for the replay video, there was a technical issue preventing the commission from receiving it within the allotted time for review. Therefore, the referee's in-ring decision was relied upon and the fight continued.
Down.
I don't know, did y'all see me in the ring tell him to keep counting? he started counting. I was like, why you stop? Like, keep counting. But
the commission is dedicated to preserving the integrity of combative sports and is committed to working with all promotions and production teams on behalf of the athletes, officials, and fans to ensure technical issues do not occur in the future that prevent the delivery of ringside instant replay feeds to the commission's officials when needed. Lamont Roach Jr., who is the World Boxing Association junior lightweight champion, fought Davis for his World Boxing Association lightweight belt on Saturday at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Had Willis ruled Davis taking a knee as a knockdown and the 3 judges scored the round a 10-8, Roach Jr. would have won the bout by unanimous decision. Eric Malinsky scored the bout 115-113 in favor of Tank, while Steve Weisfeld and Glenn Feldman scored the bout 114-114.
I honestly don't know. I don't know. But I can't go back and change it, so.
Lamont Chantel.
Feldman and Marlinsky scored the 9th round in favor of Davis, while Weisfeld gave the round to Roach Jr. Protests rarely lead to results being overturned in boxing. However, if there was ever an instance for that to change, this may very well be it, and this has led to another big question between the relationship of Tank and Calvin Ford. I got Calvin tattooed on me. Calvin ain't going nowhere. Calvin is Pops. He ain't going anywhere, Gervonta Davis said 6 weeks before the Lamont Roach fight. Well, guess what? Calvin Ford was not in Tank's corner this time, and the 30-year-old perhaps paid a huge price by having the first non-victory fight in his career.
Yeah, at least I know where he was at. Because it was something that we didn't do. It was something that we normally do. Y'all with me? And it was good for us, to tell you the truth.
While Tank believed to have Ford by his side on March 1st, the veteran coach had his own reasons to not coach Davis for this particular fight, and now, following the possibility of having his draw against Roach overturned to a loss, Calvin Ford has dropped out of the team. You see, for long, fans were used to the familiar sight of Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis. It was like Mike Tyson and Cus D'Amato. And if you compare recent examples, Canelo and Eddie Reynoso, or even Pacquiao Roach for that matter, that's how the triumvirate of Gervonta Davis, Calvin Ford, and Kenny Ellis resonated with fans. But watching Barry Hunter accompanying Davis was not the sight fans wanted to have.
So everything is good with Calvin because it's the first time he's not the head trainer in a while.
Yeah, for sure. Calvin, again, I said Calvin's pops. You know?
One wonders what might have caused the rejig. Speaking with Fight Hub TV, Calvin Ford shed some light on the matter. Davis fought his second PBC Amazon Prime Video PPV card, and apart from the headliner, the show at the Barclays features a slew of exciting fights, including 2 light welterweight title clashes. Like many, Ford anticipates a good fight and seeing how Davis's training translates into the ring. With Tank coming from Baltimore and Roach from DC, he recalled the duo sparring a lot in the gym. He respected Roach's work ethic and felt that it was a great opportunity for him. Maybe people are misreading the situation. We ain't changing up anything, he said. He'd just taken a step back, but the training structure remained the same. The reporter made it clear that they're not implying a breakup or a falling out between Ford and Gervonta Davis.
I mean, he will always be around. You know what I mean? So, that's pops, like I said. So
They just wanted to know whether the temporary separation made their bond stronger, like when family members spend time apart and then appreciate each other more when they reunite. No, he came to see me dead, slow down and worrying about you because boom, he knows that I spend time with my amateurs. You know me. Both of y'all know me very well. I spend time with my amateurs all the time. That's my piece, replied Coach Ford. Even though he wasn't directly training Tank, knowing where he was and that he was training gave him a sense of reassurance. He acknowledged that being away from Davis allowed them both to appreciate their bond. When he returned to the gym, Ford could tell the lightweight champion missed him, just like he missed the latter. A similar kind of reassurance came from Barry Hunter too.
Without Calvin, it wouldn't be no me. You know what I mean? Because at first, when I came into the
Calvin will be there, Coach Barry will be there, Coach Boogie will be there, and Kenny will be there as well, he said during an interview. While Calvin Ford and Kenny Ellis won't be in Tank's corner, he and other coaches will still be there. Implying it's not a major issue, Hunter wanted to remind us that this isn't the first time changes in Tank's corner occurred. Hunter had been involved with Tank since his amateur days and early career. He is not new to Tank's team. Like Ford, he also noted that the internet often spreads misinformation and people make assumptions without knowing the full story. He emphasized that Tank is like family, so fans stayed assured that it looks like a temporary shakeup that may revert back to the old format when Gervonta Davis returns after a few months.
At DC, they call me Mo. Calvin is Calvin. You know what I mean? I got Calvin.
Gervonta Tank Davis's history of slow starts nearly caught up to him Saturday night. Davis's defense of his WBA lightweight championship against Lamont Roach Jr. ended in a majority draw in front of a stunned, sold-out crowd of 19,250 at Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. Davis retained his title in a fight he would like to soon forget. Two judges scored the fight 114, while a third judge scored it 113 in Davis's favor. ESPN scored the fight 114.
My own live, but I went back and I watched it, and Tank lost that fight, period. And that's even without the knockdown, he lost.
Lamont is a great fighter, Davis said after the fight. He got the skills, like I said before. He got punching power. It was a lesson. Hopefully we can run it back. In a strange scene that could have turned the tide of the fight, Davis inexplicably took a knee in the 9th round after getting touched by a jab, but referee Steve Wilkes decided not to score a knockdown for Roach. Davis suggested the reason he went to a knee was because grease from his hair had gotten into his eye. The fight resumed with no penalty, but the knockdown could have swung the pendulum in favor of Roach.
The fight, just didn't do enough work. I thought that Roach's game plan was.
Had the knockdown been called, Roach could have won the 9th round by a 10-8 score. Instead, 2 of the judges scored the round 10, 9 for Davis. I just got my hair done 2 days ago, and she put grease in my hair, Davis said. When I was sweating and things like that, it burned my eyes. Roach didn't disagree with Davis's assessment of the situation. However, he made it clear that the rules are the rules and he should have been awarded a knockdown. "If you take a knee and the ref starts counting, it should be a knockdown," Roach said. "If that's a knockdown, I win the fight. I'm not banking on that knockdown to win. I just thought I pulled it out." Davis entered the fight as a massive favorite and was expected by many to collect his 29th career knockout by stopping Roach, who was making his lightweight debut. Behind a pro-Davis crowd, Tank was unable to give the fans the highlight reel finish they have come to expect from the Baltimore native. Instead, Roach stood in the line of fire, absorbed what the hard-hitting Davis had to offer, and responded with shots that stunned not only Davis, but those in attendance. The notoriously patient Davis got off to a slow start in the early rounds as he waited for Roach to make a mistake that he could capitalize on.
Start there too. I feel like Lamont definitely won. I feel like Lamont Roach won. I definitely feel like Lamont Roach won. But a draw, like, it is what it is type shit, you know? I ain't hating on the decision.
But Roach refused to give Davis the window to counter and press the action. Davis smiled and talked to Roach early in the fight, but had to get serious once he realized that his opponent wouldn't wilt under the bright lights. Roach Jr., 29, had faced Davis in the amateurs and fell short. Their careers went in different directions once they turned pro, with Davis being one of boxing's biggest stars and Roach being known as a solid fighter who lost in his only other opportunity at a world championship in a defeat to Jamel Herring for the World Boxing Organization's super featherweight title in 2019. Davis's ascent to stardom was punctuated by his knockout win over Ryan Garcia in 2023, where he laid claim to be the face of boxing. He almost let the title slip away in an underwhelming performance. Their history may have given Davis a false sense of confidence heading into the fight, but Roach was well prepared for everything Tank had to offer, including his renowned fight-ending power. By the middle rounds, Davis's smile dissolved, and he realized that the knockout he expected wouldn't come easy. The champion began to let his hands go to create openings, but Roach held his ground and caught the champion with counters and combinations. Davis worked almost exclusively to the body, banging away as Roach stayed on the front foot and pushed forward. Undeterred, Roach would sneak a counter in whenever Davis's assault stalled. In round 8, Roach stunned Davis with a counter right hand. Although Davis was never in any real danger, the counterpunching signaled that he couldn't rumble recklessly. "I feel like I was breaking him down as the rounds were going on, but he kept coming, so I didn't want to make any mistakes," Davis said. "I kept it cautious."
It was a great event. Great event. It was a great fight. They put in a fantastic performance. Both of them did, for real. Both of them really did put in a fantastic performance. It was a great fight, you know? All that good stuff. You know.
Realizing the fight could be slipping away, Davis, 30, pressed the action in the championship rounds. Although he landed some big power shots, he never came close to hurting Roach. But the activity gave him the final 2 rounds on all 3 scorecards to salvage the draw and leave New York with the title. Davis landed 103 of 279 punches in an extremely economic affair, while Roach was more active, landing 112 of 400 punches.
Just did. We got off the canvas one. It ain't about the dub with me. It's about that you got that will.
"I'm just a little disappointed in the decision," Roach said. "I thought I pulled it out, but that's what 2 skilled fighters do. I definitely thought I won, but we could run it back. Even though I didn't win tonight, I thought I did, but it's a win for me in my book. We are not satisfied with that. We need a real W." While it was announced recently that there's been a split between the trainer and Gervonta Davis after over a decade together, as coach Calvin Ford has confirmed the news, there were several external factors that contributed to this. Probably because of his training camp activities or just out of his unwillingness to talk about the situation, Gervonta Davis has been silent on these matters ever since it was rumored until now.
Yeah, he already said it. That's the difference. And Tank was holding the conversation. Tank said, "Yo, Tank can't. Every fight, Tank come and tell me I'm going to knock him out."
In breaking his silence, the narrative changes a little bit, and now it's no longer just because of Calvin Ford's offense, but because of an issue involving Leonard Ellerby. It was revealed that ever since Leonard Ellerby left Mayweather Promotions, he didn't have to stay on the fence anymore between Gervonta Tank Davis and Floyd Mayweather Jr. In the aftermath of his sack, he's been pouring all of his attention on Gervonta Davis, and as much as Leonard Ellerby is being helpful, Calvin Ford feels many of Gervonta Davis's bad decisions can be traced back to Leonard Ellerby.
When I talk to him, I'm not talking to little Tank anymore. I'm talking to the grown man Tank. For being with him for so many years, it's amazing.
Hence, Calvin Ford hasn't been so fine with the relentless company of Leonard Ellerby. Earlier, it was a team of Gervonta Davis, Calvin Ford, and Kenny Ellis. Even while they were under the Floyd Mayweather Promotions banner, they were just so inseparable that Floyd Mayweather Jr. had to respect their unity as well. However, since they left Mayweather Promotions and Leonard Ellerby joined them as well, their relationship has been threatened. More so, Gervonta Davis has been making wrong career choices, and he's been manipulated by Leonard Ellerby. This is what Tank Davis claims the belief of his trainers are. According to him, the whole of his camp is against his close association with Leonard Ellerby. To them, Leonard Ellerby is with whoever is profitable for him. He was with Floyd Mayweather when he saw what he could get from Floyd. When he stopped getting it from Floyd's fighters, he moved on with Tank Davis. And this is exactly what Gervonta Davis's team feels about Leonard Ellerby except him. And it was this situation that forced him to eventually sack his coach, Calvin Ford.
Then is a big fight. Right. And Tank's gonna get every last one of these guys y'all want him to get. You just can't get them all in one night.
Did you see what he tweeted at Shakur?
No, I didn't.
Ellerby presided over the company's growth during Floyd Mayweather's career. He helped promote some of the biggest fights, including Mayweather versus Pacquiao. He has also presided over Gervonta Davis's career, making him a PPV star. He also promoted Davis's fight with Frank Martin on Saturday after being sacked by Floyd Mayweather. Since Gervonta Davis separated from Mayweather Promotions in 2022, he has fought Rolly Romero, Hector Luis Garcia, Ryan Garcia, and Frank Martin, some of the finest names in the lightweight division. So, it's not very difficult to believe that leaving his former mentor was the best decision of his career, right? Well, at least boxing commentator Showbiz the Adult thinks so. In the past few months, Tank Davis has been feuding with Floyd Mayweather over social media, with either party taking digs at each other. However, after Davis's latest fight against Martin and Leonard Ellerby leaving Mayweather Promotions, the boxing commentator explained why it was the best decision for Davis to leave Mayweather. Yesterday, the boxing commentator popular on YouTube for his take on everything boxing shared a short clip titled, "Tank Davis leaving Floyd was the best thing for his career. In hindsight, it might seem like Floyd Mayweather is the biggest name in the sport, so how could it be the best thing?" To this, the commentator explained, "Floyd thinks like money." So much has changed about Gervonta Davis, and we now finally understand when Calvin Ford, unknowingly foretelling what the future holds for him and Tank Davis before his fight against Frank Martin, after Gervonta Davis was absent during the media workout. Coach Calvin Ford was there to represent him and said certain things that have now bounced against him and are playing out between the two of them.
Oh, watching them in camp, it scares me. You know what I'm saying? Because the things that he's doing and his maturity of, how would you say?
Now we know why he said, watching him in camp, it scares me because of the things he's doing and his maturity when he gets in that ring. He'll hurt Frank Martin. I've seen him listen to a conversation, listen to what's going on, and he's really focused. Speaking to Fight Hype, Davis's coach Calvin Ford urged people not to read into the no-show too much.
A press conference. Let's look at history. Let's look at the stats.
For sure.
So, again, but how many times y'all came here, y'all, he did, one time he did show up.
I want to apologize to the fans, Ford said, killing the buzz that had built since the scheduled arrivals started some 90 minutes earlier. He can't make it at this moment because he's been delayed, but he's going to make it up to y'all on fight night. Trust what I'm saying to y'all. Y'all want to see this performance that he's going to put on to the fans. How long y'all been knowing Tank Man? I used to do the same thing y'all do. I stopped doing it. Let him just do what he does because at the end of the day, that's what makes Tank. I don't know how his body is. Sometimes y'all gotta go to work. Do y'all feel like it all the time? We are getting ready to roll out to the world. Asked if he would make the press conference, Ford was optimistic.
And for the fans, you know, do the conspiracy theory, there's no concerns, you know.
No, we great. We great. Trust me. Y'all want y'all guys to come out and put on that show for y'all. Trust me.
I've never seen Tank missing a press conference. Let's look at history. Let's look at the stats. Finally, Calvin Ford then warned Frank Martin on behalf of his absent fighter, Gervonta Davis, saying, "We're back in business. We've been waiting for this for a while." Ford said of Davis's first fight back after 14 months, "We want to put on a great performance. We want to put on a great performance for the fans at the end of the day." Truly, Gervonta Davis has been scaring everyone, and it's not just Calvin Ford. Even Floyd Mayweather and Devin Haney have tasted it. And that's all for now. For the very best updates on news, moments,